Alright, this is an exciting intro video. This is a new project of mine. It is a 91 Toyota Supra Turbo hardtop and a 5-speed manual transmission. 7M GTE engine, which I plan on building up to around 500 wheel horsepower. That'll be the goal. In addition to the engine work, I'll do restoration on just about everything else. Just try and clean it up everywhere possible. And I'll show you the starting point right now. I haven't touched the car at all. Aside from a pair of hood struts, it is exactly the way that I received it. I got it in California and trailered it back to Arizona. And for a project to be complete and legitimate, of course, you need a code name. The name for this project is Project Ookii. Big Blue in Japanese, or Great Blue in Japanese. Here's a good shot of the roof and the rear trim. Trim piece will get replaced, obviously, but the roof needs to be repainted. The clear coat is completely gone. The paint is well faded. It does not look like the same color blue. It all needs to be redone. So that'll be redone. It looks like it was resprayed at least down to here. Some marks with maybe blending, and there's paint missing or peeling on the edges there. So all that trim will come off and it'll get repainted. Now here's a flaw that I noticed on mine, 90, that's also on this car, and that's a crack right there, right by the handle. There's another one starting right there. So that'll need to be sanded down, probably welded, and then sanded down again and primed and repainted. Alright, here you can see the front bumper and the flaking paint. So the fenders look great. The doors look pretty good. Mirrors are fine. The doors just has that crack by the handle. All in all, paint looks pretty good. It's just the roof that really lets it down, and a couple other areas that need touch up. Factory wheels, 16x7s, factory size tires, 225, 50, 16 I believe. Those will get swapped out, but I'll keep the tires. I'll keep the wheels. I like having the option for the stock look. Let's start with the driver's side. Some minor wear. The fabric's worn. It's not a leather car, it's a cloth car. So no cracked leather, but we do have worn fabric. There's a missing e-brake boot, missing cover over the area right above where the Thames buttons would be. That little area right there. The cover for the console lid is in poor shape. That needs to be replaced. Steering wheel is in rough shape, but it's fine. That'll get rewrapped at some point. Floor mats are okay. They'll probably get replaced. The seats are in decent shape. I'd like to rewrap those at some point. The doors are in good shape. I'll swing over and show you the door. That trim piece right there is coming off a little bit, so that'll need to be addressed. That's one. And the other one is that section of the door card. So that one I think will need to be replaced. I don't know if there's much salvaging that, but we'll see. Moving over to the passenger area, no major surprise here. Everything's clean, intact, no real work needed. Alright, now the fun stuff, the stuff that really matters. Engine bay. It's pretty stock, not a lot going on. I painted a couple of the vacuum hoses, or pipes, up there. The old ones were rusting and just looked terrible, so threw a quick coat of epoxy paint on that. It's got an epoxy intake and a BIC, because I can, downpipe, divorced and rerouted. I'll compare that to my Raptor Racing divorced, rerouted downpipe at some point, see what differences there are there. I'm not sure if either of those are available anymore, so I'll definitely hang on to one of those. Last shot of the engine bay here, PWR radiator. That's going to round out the modifications. Oh, there's also a Bosch bypass valve to replace the factory bypass valve that is always broken. But I think that's it. Pretty boring engine bay, which is what you want when you're starting a project. Not a whole lot going on. A blank canvas, if you will. One of the major modifications I have not mentioned from the previous owner on this car is the suspension. It has Zankoku coilovers. They were made by a vendor on the forums a few years back, I think maybe 7-8 years ago. They have 10K, 14K springs, I believe, if I'm remembering that correctly, and 12 or 16-way adjustable dampers. The dampers are adjustable by a knob at the top of the strut tower, or shock tower. I'm going to keep those. I was initially thinking I'd trade them out, but I actually like those quite a bit, so I'll keep those. Alright, that wraps up this intro video for Project Ookii OW 91 Toyota Supra Turbo. The goal is 500 wheel horsepower, and I'll clean the car up along the way and show you that process. My goal for this video series is weekly updates. We'll see if I can manage that. Meanwhile, subscribe, share, leave comments, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next video.